Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back, everybody. So here we are, just a few days away from the start of spring. And what does that mean for you? Many of us look at it as maybe a little bit of a rebirth, clean the slate, move forward, fresh kind of feel. And if that is the case, how do you use that cue to move your life forward and accomplish those goals? We're going to dig into that today and a lot more than just spring happening in our world at this moment. She's a certified life coach, counselor, TEDx speaker, emotional freedom technique practitioner. She's our professional of the year, and she is back. Michelle Mehta joins us on the program. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. What a pleasure to jump into spring as we just sprung forward about a week ago, just changed our clocks. So, that time, days are getting a little bit longer and it's an exciting time of the year.
It does feel that way. Like there's a renewed energy. And yeah, with the extra light, that just juices you up for whatever's coming your way and just gets you more invigorated for new projects. There's a lot going on right now too in the world. Let's not ignore the elephant in the room, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like every other day you hear about something related with aviation, right? Just this morning we heard about Denver Airport
Yeah.
being in the news. A couple weeks ago it was Canada, Toronto being in the news. Is just like, flying is still the safest way to travel when you look at the numbers. But it's like, what's really going on and how do we use that with spring, right? In terms of you have that as we wake up, and now we have longer days. And now we realize that we just had a lunar eclipse, and now there's this thing called Mercury retrograde. Steve, what the heck is going on with our season?
I don't know. And it's weirdly or not, it's all at the same time, which I believe is unprecedented in our universe, if you want to call it that. Spring beginning, that Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde. We had a lunar eclipse last night, full moon as well. All this stuff going on in our world. Well, we don't do politics, but it's kind of politically connected all at once. Do you feel that whether we realize it or not, being exposed to all the stuff going on does something to us? Does maybe cut our courage a little bit, gives us a little uncertainty, maybe even a little fear? What do you think?
Personally, for me, I've been looking, they say listen to your body, right? One of the
Mm,
things I always talk about with my clients is notice your body, listen to your body. And I've been paying more and more attention to it. And I'm like, wow, my knees hurt differently. My shoulder hurts
yeah.
differently. My fingers hurt differently. And I'm thinking, what is that really telling me? And it's not just like I worked out or, did a sprain or a strain that way. It's just because I'm not able to fully express myself and let people know how I'm internally feeling. Someone that I'm really, really close to is my grandmother. She's 92 years old and she's
Mm,
currently in the hospital.
oh,
And, in the nursing care facility, we just transitioned her over there. And it's like I'm not able to fully express how I'm feeling because there's just been so much information thrown at me within a span of a week. And so since that she's been in the hospital, I've now been feeling the aches and the pains. And it's like, well, what is this letting me know? Right. And so going back to this information of what is our body telling us, maybe we're not able to express something. Maybe we're feeling an emotion that we're not able to put words to it. Maybe, we're having that anxiety feeling, and anxiety is showing
yeah.
up in different ways, the what if scenarios. Maybe it's like that helplessness, the hopelessness. So emotions are always energetically going up and down our body, whether we realize it or not.
Hmm.
And, that's what I'm feeling.
What if what if you have plans and let's say you want to start a new business. Let's say you have a goal. Side note, I am working on some new stuff right at this time. Um, what's your advice to move it forward? A lot of us seem stuck sometimes. We kind of tap the gas, but we're not really like jamming on it and phew, moving forward. When we're in that kind of uncertainty stage, how to get out of that mindset?
Number one, what is something that you can control?
Mm.
And, Mel Robbins just published a new book called The Let Them Theory. And my friend, she's like, Michelle, you need to read this book. And so I just got a copy of it yesterday. And it's a Let Them Theory. And I was reading the synopsis about is focus on the things that you can control. So if your business idea is a goal of yours, but you have these like what if scenarios or like I don't know the how. I know the what. I know what to do, but I don't know how to do it, or I don't know the resources that are in front of me. Well, then focus on the what you can do. So if you're starting a business, think about the plan. What is it that you're offering? Why are you choosing this business? These are the things that you are in control of because only you know how you're going to run this because it's your
Hmm.
business.
It sounds almost a little piece of that there sounds like some of the principles of manifestation where
Yeah.
just visualize it happening, it's there, and don't get all messed up in the muck of worrying about how it's going to happen.
Right, exactly.
Hmm.
Steve, speaking of vision board,
Oh,
so
there you said it again. And that should, that was months ago that I said, yeah, I got to do a vision board. I've been thinking about it for a long time. I found some pictures. I never got it done. I never got it done. Still, I
yeah,
never got it done. Oh.
well, I know, it's so interesting. So I haven't created a vision board in years. I created one and then I was like, oh, I've accomplished everything. I don't really need to create another one. Up until recently, I was doing a meditation exercise, and after the meditation, they're like, you were forced to create a vision board, and you had 45 minutes given to create this, and it was a group collective, like Galentine's kind of thing. So all the women were together. And for the first time ever, Steve, in my life, I actually created a vision board of dreaming of the next phase of my life, of getting engaged, getting married, having children. And I've done vision boards, and it's been more about my personal life and who I am being and what I want to accomplish as a soul woman. But to think about that dream of wedding and engagement, and it's like I've always wanted that, right? I've always wanted that as a young child. But to actually put that on paper was the first time I ever did that. And the only reason why I actually did that was because when you meet the right people and you meet the right connections, the ability to start dreaming again start coming up because you're so focused on the muck, I call it, the muddiness, that you don't even know what's outside that. But the moment you step away from that muck and that muddiness, you start to see, oh my God, there's actually flowers that are blooming on this tree that has been shedding its leaves for the past 3 to 6 months. And now there's
Hmm.
a new flower that's forming. And it's like re-visualizing what is actually possible. And you could do that with the business plan, right? Going back to your why of why do you want this business? Or what is it that you're trying to create with this business? What is in front of you? And really sitting down with your breath and doing that box breath, which is you inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. And by doing that, you're slowing down the movement in your body that is at an unconscious level. And you're bringing
I
that
just
in.
heard that today, the box, because you visualize as you're doing it for, for, in your breath, for, and repeat.
Yeah,
Hmm. Now, vision board for perfect person and wedding. Did you say you created one?
I
Or you?
did. I created one, not necessarily with the person, but just the idea of saying I do, having a picture of 2 rings, right? Wedding rings, having a picture of an engagement ring, along with having a picture of a dream job, right? Having a picture of a woman being pregnant, right? What does my next phase of my life look like? Sometimes we get so focused on the right here, right now, that it's like I'm perfect the way it is right now. I feel like I'm okay. But then what's the next chapter of your life? Sometimes we don't have the time to think. But because I was in that meditation visualization exercise, you were forced to create a vision board. So there was no way out, right? They're like, now that you've imagined this picture in your mind, you have to now create this. And now everybody's there taking pictures and cutting pictures of the magazine. You're like, if you don't do it, you feel left out. So you might as well just do it and partake in the ability and the facility to just create it. And I've done vision boards. This probably is my fourth vision board that I've done. And for the first time, it was solely focused on the
Hmm.
next phase of my life, which was my dream career, engagement, wedding, and then, family planning.
which you're kind of in the process of right now.
Yeah, which I'm in
Hmm.
the process of right now because I'm tired of the dating world, let's just say.
I hear
So,
you loud and clear. And that brings me to lyrics of a song
okay.
that you said the word connection, so I'm going to throw
Mhm.
this to you. And this song has bright spots, has dark spots. It's by the legendary David Bowie.
Right.
And this little piece here reminded me what you said. Once there were mountains on mountains, and once there were sunbirds to soar with, and once I could never be down. Gotta keep searching and searching. Oh, what will I be believing? And who will connect me with love?
I
And it
love
almost
that.
sounds what you're saying, right there. And then goes on. Wonderful, wonder who, wonder when. Have you sought fortune, evasive and shy? And then it goes on. The song has that many people can't figure this, but it's called Station to Station. Many people
Right.
have issues figuring this song out, but that one little piece there, I've played at the gym today like 5 times. I just go back and it's like, interesting. Yeah, searching for the right connections that are going to connect you with love or whatever it might be. And it's funny you used the word connections just a moment ago. So, question: vision board for the right person in your life, wedding, that goal right there. How long ago did you do that vision board?
February 13th, about a month ago. I only
Interesting.
remember that date because the day before Valentine's Day, and it was a Galentine's event in honor of Valentine's Day, which was the next day. So it was exactly a month ago.
Oh, so this was like something that you were at, you did,
Yes.
with other women, and it was
Yep.
it was a vision board event, whatever.
Yeah, it was basically like a kind of like take your life back in control kind of event. So
Wow.
there we started off with a meditation. We started off with feeling all of our senses. So they gave us like a perfume to smell, like activated all of our senses. Then we took that and we did a meditation. We did a visualization with that meditation. And then it was now that you've experienced all of this, your senses are activated. Let's go ahead and play arts and craft and bring that inner child to create. So they've given us
Hmm.
markers and scissors and magazines and like cutlets to put this all together. And they've given us like 35, 40 minutes to do this. And then it ended up with a sound bath and yoga. So you're basically like fully relaxed and immersed in this new vision of your life.
I wish I was there. I'm not even
Right?
kidding. I'm not even kidding. I'm that one major takeaway for me because I've been struggling with the vision board, and not that I'm a perfectionist, but if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do whatever I do right.
Right.
And I haven't done it yet, but you just said 35, 40 minutes. If you challenge yourself and say, create that vision board in 40 minutes and go, that's it. You don't do anything else.
Right.
Go online, get the pictures, print them out, arrange them on the board in such a way that you can put it up in front of you 24/7 or during your working hours, whatever it might be. I'm going to do that next week.
Yeah.
And
And
by
so
next week,
many
I'm busy.
times.
I'm busy right now, but
Yeah.
I want to set the intention and get it done and get it done.
And Steve, you touched on a really important point. Something that is so important to us, we put it off. We put it off like, oh, I'll have tomorrow. I have the next day. I have next week to do it. But then you ask yourself, how important is it to you?
Hmm,
Right? On a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being least important, 10 being extremely important, how important it is to you,
true.
right? And if it is only going to take you, and sometimes we think it has to be absolutely perfect. I've had a couple mentors tell me that P for perfection stands for poison.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
either
yeah.
you could keep dreaming about that perfection or just take the effort and go. Because if you are already there, you're already halfway there. It's like you drive to the gym, that's already half the battle.
Yeah. Yep.
Then working out is the other half, right? But getting
It's
from your
true.
bed to the gym is a struggle. Just like that, from you to the vision board is a struggle. Once you're there, and it doesn't have to be pictures, you could just write out words, draw stick figures, right? We sometimes make it so complicated because it has to be this perfect thing, but it's just your vision with you. It's your time with you,
I
and
figured out.
nobody's gonna see it.
I figured it out. Why I haven't done it. I'm not
And
even
we can,
kidding. You made it come clear. Side note, I rode that perfection train for a lot of years. Realized it totally didn't support. There's nothing perfect. However, vision board. I know what needs to go on there. That is not even the problem. Like crystal clear. It's the part of me that hasn't done it is I want to make sure I put the right pictures there and not screw it up because, I hear when you manifest, i.e., vision board, you got to be specific. So, let's say the perfect woman, I want, reasonably what it should be. And I got to search a little bit for the right picture. That's why I haven't done it.
Right.
That's
But you
it.
can write the characteristics of this perfect woman.
Sure.
What does this woman mean to you? And just write out words, right? So, and something as small as a vision board can be such a huge daunting task. It's like, you have people come over and I want to cook that perfect meal. But if you put a little bit of less of salt, you can still fix it. But if you make it excessive salty, you can't fix it. Right? But sometimes
Mm,
under the pressure, we make the wrong decisions because of it has to be this certain way. Versus just opening up your hands and just saying, I'm just gonna let it be. The fact that I'm already making it and I'm coming it from a place of love and my intention is pure,
yeah.
you're gonna have that life that you've always wanted.
Mm. Some other thoughts with spring, kind of the rebirth kind of feeling that we've got going on now. Um, what else can you share? And just thoughts out of nowhere.
Well, sometimes, they say, right? Like you plant the seed and that seed never grows. All of a sudden, 10 years down the line, you're like, oh my God, I have this tree growing out of nowhere. But that seed was planted. Sometimes all it takes is to get that idea set in stone, and
Hmm.
then the things will follow. But if you keep creating the what if scenarios around the set in stone part, you're never going to move forward. So
Hmm.
take a moment this weekend, take the moment as spring is coming around, days are getting longer. What are you holding on to? Why are you holding on to it? And is there something that I can do something about it?
Hmm.
And are you surrounding yourself with the right people? Because you're going to have the naysayers, you're going to have the yay sayers, nay and yay, right? What are they saying? Are they saying no to test you? Are they saying yes because they don't want to ask you they don't want to have the difficult conversation with you, right? Because
Hmm.
if you don't have haters, you're not doing something right. If you have haters, you're doing something right,
And they may not be yay or nay. They may be saying things to deflect your attention.
right?
Like, hey, let's go out. Yeah, let's go have a couple of beers. Let's do this. Let's do that.
Right?
And that you shouldn't be doing that. Not because of what you're doing. You shouldn't
Right.
be doing it because it's taking you away from what your intentions and your goals are. So you're like, you know what? That's a couple hours, no problem. And then a couple hours turns into I don't feel like doing it now. And then you just I don't want to say wasted another day, but you let another opportunity to get things done slip past you.
Right. Absolutely. And that's where the self-awareness come in.
Mm,
Sometimes we take that for granted. But really asking yourself, right? Closing your eyes and really asking yourself, what am I feeling? How am I feeling about this?
mm,
Why am I feeling this? And what can I do about it? Take life back into your control because that is what the spring is all about. There's a lot of things that are out of our control, right? One day you thought you had a job with one of the best agencies, and now you're getting the pink slip out of nowhere, right? So life is uncertain. Start
but you can
thinking
take that
about,
as an
eh,
opportunity, and
right,
that's the flip around. I know it's not easy, when jobs change. Been there, done that. I get it.
right,
And back in the day, not long ago, I would be in like DEFCON 5, like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I can't believe this. Blah, 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 blah,
yeah,
blah. Instead of doing that, it's getting you nowhere.
right,
Look at it as an opportunity. Oh, now I have more time to find something better. Now I can focus a little bit more in a different direction. And it's been said, once something goes away, something comes back.
right,
It's almost like I visualize a puzzle and you move something there. Now this piece takes it over. And but I get it. Fear comes into play. That's usually,
right,
tops on the list there,
right.
getting in the way.
Fear gets in the way, and then what do you do with fear? You replace it with love because love always operates at a higher frequency. And I've always had people ask me, but Michelle, it's easier said than done. And I immediately step into gratitude because that is something that is operating at the same level as love. So start thinking about what are you grateful for?
Hmm.
And it could be as simple as I'm grateful for clean oxygen around me. as simple as that, because that's what puts you back into control. And that's one of the reasons with the fire situation, people are like, I'm grateful to be alive. Because if I'm alive, I'm able to be and create things. And then you start realizing everything around you is temporary.
That's a great That's a great point you bring up because I keep a gratitude journal. Didn't write into it. I was running late this morning, so I didn't write in it. And I like to be intentional, not just, oh, wait, let me just grab it quick. And no, think about it. And I like to write next to I do three things. I write how it makes me feel, not like
Absolutely.
I'm grateful for a cup of coffee. That's fine, good. Why? Because it it makes me feel warm. It is my treat that I start my day with. I feel I deserve it. It's just my little cup of sanity, whatever it might be. Um, just setting the intention and taking the time to do it. But to your point, why can't we do it all day long? Why can't you just
Right.
take a minute and say, you know what, I'm really happy about that. You know what? That's good. Honestly, this is going to be sound crazy. I never thought of that. I
Right.
never thought of doing that because I
Right.
write it in the journal. I set the time aside and that's all good. But I never thought of just, if you taking a minute, lunch break, let's say taking 10 minutes to walk outside and just breathe some air, close your eyes and think about what you're grateful for.
Right.
Hmm.
And sometimes we make it so much harder because that's what we're used to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Write it down, do this, do that. And that, the let them theory just says, let them talk. Focus on you.
Yeah.
Focus on what's in front of you because that power is always with you. You are the most strongest, most powerful human on this planet if you choose to believe that. All because you are more aware of what's going on internally and externally. And Steve, when you write, I'm grateful for X and it makes me feel Y, you have just connected the logical and the emotional brain together.
Hmm.
So,
Never thought of it that way.
yeah,
Yeah.
because the
Well,
feelings are emotional
and to
and the
your point
feeling is
again, when you think it during the day, it all starts in your mind. It all starts in
right,
your mind. So yeah, of course, it's great to write it down or whatever, but why can't you just be taking 30 seconds out of your day, close your eyes, just think, visualize, I'm grateful for that cup of coffee. Man, I'm grateful for the people that grow the beans, the barista, the people
right,
that, manufacture the cups. I'm grateful for my dog. I love him. He's great. Sometimes he piddles on the floor, but that's okay. It's on me. I should have been
right,
home to walk him, but I'm grateful for him because
right,
it's unconditional love coming from, just think about it. Think
right.
about those things. Hmm.
Exactly. Because everything around us is unconditional. It's that when we start putting meaning to it, it then transitions from unconditional to conditional, right?
Yeah.
So when you're unconditional, you're just giving from your heart's expanding. But when you're conditional, you're narrowing it down. And that's where room for fear comes in and
Yeah.
the expectations come in. And then you start going on that cycle of I'm not good enough and I'm not that enough or whatever, right? So it's really important to understand what information are you giving yourself and how are you using that? And that's the season of spring.
Don't overthink it.
New
Yeah.
beginnings
New
on how you
beginnings.
see your life.
New beginnings. Yeah. They were here. Now you've been given. Be grateful you were given a new beginning. What are you going to do with it? Well,
Exactly.
many of us need some help with that. I can't walk that journey alone. How do we find you, Michelle? What's the best way?
Number one, go to my website, michellemehta.com, and that's MichelleMehta.com. And you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn at I am Michelle Mehta. And that's IAMMICHELLEMEHTA.
I will say this, and it comes very genuinely from my heart. I am grateful for you. You are a breath of fresh air. You
Oh,
bring just different perspectives to things. You've given me three different things to think about today. And sometimes the most obvious things are the things we don't think of, but
right.
they can make the most impact.
Oh,
So Steve's checklist is make a vision board, set a 40-minute time limit, and get it done. Also, gratitude. Think about it all day, and everything else we talked about. It's a new time.
it is.
It's you need to start the car before the car can drive. So get it going.
Absolutely. And you need to get yourself to the car before it can drive itself. So that's another thing.
Another
But
part.
Steve, thank you so much for this wonderful conversation. And I'm so excited for what the week holds for me as well. So thank you
Same.
for being the fresh of breath there for me as well.
Oh, well, thank you. And have a great weekend. We'll talk soon.
Sounds good. Thank you so
Excellent.
much.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.